Kia ora whānau, and welcome to another episode of Get a Job and Get Healthy with Costas Enterprises. I am your ever-loving host, Alex Costas, as always, and today we're going to talk about KiwiSaver, and specifically Sharesies Kiwi-Saviour, and what's going on and what's going to happen with them. Pretty cool. Before I start, first and foremost, you can find me on my socials. I'll put them all over here. DonCostas@gmail.com. You can email me. You can also find me on my website, www.costasenterprises.business.blog. You can also find me at the Kiwi Don on Instagram and on Twitter. And for right now, as you can see, also on the screen is my Magic Mind code. This is a nootropic drink, kind of like an energy shot, but quite good. I'm going to have one now before I start this episode so that you guys can see me just take it. And if you use my code, you get 20% off. If you get a subscription, you get more like 56% off. So it's actually pretty good. So yeah, down the hatch. Awesome. So that is Magic Mind. Feel free to try some. I will let you know what you're seeing on screen is my Sharesies account. Now, Sharesies is the account that I used to do all of my investments, all these things. This is the first time I'm actually showing it on screen because this is my first time doing a YouTube video with my Sharesies stuff. I'm a big believer in Sharesies and think everyone should, if you have the opportunity, you should be able to use it. It's really, really quite cool. As you can see right here, we've got an investments account, we've got a savings account, a house deposit savings account, and a Vietnam trip savings account because we are going to Vietnam very shortly. And then I've got my KiwiSaver. Now, before this, I have talked previously about my KiwiSaver, and I've said that, I was previously under what we call the State Service Retirement Scheme, or the SSRS, and I transitioned from that to KiwiSaver. So it's been pretty fun. The transfer process was really simple, and I managed to get it done quite easily, which was good. And now, when I stopped work, my KiwiSaver or State Service Retirement Scheme, was at 90,000. I took out 10,000 and then transferred over about 86,200. Now, I've only just been into KiwiSaver since, basically since, as you can see, 1st of March. It is now the 10th of March, so in 10 days, it's grown almost $700, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Now, granted, part of that is the compounding. So, for almost a year, when I haven't touched KiwiSaver, I haven't touched State Service Retirement Scheme, I had nothing. It was at 80,000, so it's grown 6,000. So it's grown because of the compounding that I've done and what I've done. It's grown to 86,000. So to grow 700 in 10 days is pretty crazy. Now, granted, everything is changing. Now, you might ask, why did I choose Sharesies? Now, as you guys know, I use Sharesies for my investments. When they said that they were bringing out KiwiSaver, I was what they call an early adopter. I love the idea. I was like, great, because they said that they'd give you a bit more. You'd be able to actually pick what you wanted to invest in. Now, when I first heard that, I was like, let's go. Put it on the S&P 500. I'm done. And it's not exactly like that. However, it is pretty cool. So for now, you can see I've got all these things. You have to pick a base fund. So for me, at the time, mine is the Smart Shares Growth Fund. So I had, originally when I first started, it would have been close to 80,000, but then you can take 5% or up to 5%, and invest it in one of the other New Zealand share holdings that you can put it in. So first thing I did was put it in this one here, the Smart Shares this one here, the Smart Shares US 500 fund. As you can see, it's currently showing at 0.76%. That's fine. I know from my own dealings, it's likely to go up and down all the time. Then this one took the longest for the money to be transferred into because this is the biggest amount that you're buying. Sorry, I do have a bit of a cold at the moment, so that's why I sound a bit croaky. Then we've got the Smart Shares New Zealand Dividend Fund. That is currently up 1.2%. This is up 2.3%. We've got Main Freight, so you can actually invest in some New Zealand companies as well. ANZ and Westpac are crazy for me at the moment. As you can see, up 4%, up 5%. We will get into these a little bit more as well. So first and foremost, as I said, we go into a base fund, which is the Smart Shares Growth Fund. So you're currently buying $1.238 New Zealand of that particular fund. And the intention is that you're going to have it for 9 to 12, 10 years or plus, which is my whole idea. And as you can see, when they first started, it's been sort of in the last 5 years, it sort of hasn't even been around. But when we go to my investment, you'll see that I get charged a 0.51% on this particular fund. So you do get charged some fees based on what it is that you buy, but it's not going to be as bad as some of the other ones that are out there. So this is my initial investment of 60,384. Sorry, this one here. As you can see, already in 10 days, I'm up $146. That's a 0.249%. Now, I love the fact that with your Sharesies Kiwi-Saver shows the same as your normal Sharesies screen. So what you're seeing when we go back to here, this part here is exactly what you see in Sharesies. Very easy to see. You can see ranges based on what you've done versus what you've got. If we go to the next one, the Smart Shares New Zealand Dividend Fund, the main reason I'm picking a lot of these New Zealand funds here that are here is because of the dividend yield, or because I know that the actual company provides dividends or is good running. Like Main Freight, the reason I got Main Freight is because 4 years ago we had the opportunity to buy, and at like $30 a share, now it's $70 a share. So as you can imagine, it's one of those ones where we're like, now we can put it in, put 4,000 in, see how we go. So as you can see, the gross dividend yield is 5.68%. That means that this is going to reinvest itself for this particular dividend ETF. Again, it is an ETF, an electronic traded fund. And you are buying, instead of you buying a share in it, you'll notice that it says you're buying a unit. So that's something that a lot of people don't realize is instead of buying a share, you're buying a unit. That's because you're not actually purchasing the share itself, you're purchasing a fund that owns the share and is providing you units to that share. Now, the reason I know that is because I was very, very lucky to be hosted and lucky to attend an event for Sharesies this week about their KiwiSaver. Being an early adopter, I was very lucky, and they revealed some pretty cool things that I will talk about a little bit later as well. And honestly, this stuff is game changing. It is game changing, and it makes me say to people, please, please invest and think about investing in Sharesies. So that was the Smart Shares New Zealand ETF. Smart Shares SA and S&P ASX 200 ETF. So this is the top 200 companies under the S&P for Australia. This does pretty well. As you can see, it's $3.35. It's got a dividend yield of 3.12%, and usually it does pretty well. So as you can see, 2% return, I'm up $99. So that in itself is pretty good. Again, we have 4,000 units so I'm losing $300, but it's $3 a share. So it's not too bad. And then it's one of those ones where you just wait. So, of course, we are in the infancy of this this is the fastest growing. KiwiSaver under Sharesies is the fastest growing KiwiSaver they've had, which is crazy. Then we've got the S&P 500, which you guys know this one. This is the same one that I invest in normally, and this is the S&P 500 under the New Zealand Stock Exchange. So it's currently trading at $14.93. I was lucky to get into this at like $8 a share normally. But as you can see, in 1 year, it's gone from 11, we've gone from 7, and it's just gone up and up and up. Now, dividend yield is very low. It's only 1%, but 1% when you're investing 4,000 is not too bad. So at the moment, I'm minus $32. That's okay. I know with this particular ETF, it's going to be one of those ones, it's going to build. And the whole intention of KiwiSaver is to hold. Hold, hold, hold. I saw a TikTok today where this lady was trying to get people to sell. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't tell people to sell their, like, get their KiwiSaver out. Hold on to your KiwiSaver. The importance of compounding is just nuts. And I'll get onto that a little bit later as well. But as you can see, minus 0.76%. This is one of those ones where I don't mind waiting because I've seen that particular ETF go up and down myself, but still be steady. And at the moment, as you'll see, that is the only one of mine that is minus, but give it time. We've got main freight, as you can see. Main freight has, I should have bought down here. I really should have. Now it's starting to sort of go down a little bit, which is fine. But I'm still up $13 on this one. It is $68 a share. As I said, I had the opportunity to potentially buy it at $30 a share. You can imagine I'm kicking myself now. That was pre-COVID. Since COVID, of course, everyone wants their packages. Main freight are the ones that bring in packages a lot more. So they're doing really, really well for themselves. So that's one of those ones where shoulda, woulda, coulda, just deal with it. ANZ. So this is trading at $31.95. The important thing about this is there's a 6.5% dividend yield for a bank. Like, the funny thing is, you get more money off this than you do putting your money in this bank. That's the funny thing. And I'm with this bank. I can say that. As you can see, 4.5%. I've got currently $194 above what I was. So that's a positive. And then the shocking one is Westpac. Like, I just did not expect it to be. This was about $28 when I think I bought it. Dividend 5.6%, so even better than ANZ. And the investment for that is, as you can see, I'm up $242. So most of my increase of money that I've got the last couple of days is Westpac and ANZ, which is crazy. Just nuts. And as you can see, put in this, got this. But still, that's pretty crazy. So, big thing about KiwiSaver. Save, save, save. Okay? There's a book I'm going to show you now. I've talked about this book before, and it's called Money Made Simple. Okay, so I hope you can see that. It's this little orange book. It's by Sam Stubbs. It's got Money Made Simple, Managing Your Money, a guide for all New Zealanders. This book, I wish someone had given this to me 20 years ago. He talks about shares. He talks about KiwiSaver quite a bit. And he's a former fund manager. So he knows what he's talking about when it comes to investing. He knows how, part of the reason I decided to change from the State Service Retirement Scheme to KiwiSaver was this book. This book is written to be directed at people like youth. It's written to be directed at people like Pacifica, Māori, people that don't really invest much in KiwiSaver. This book is for you. This book is, as someone that is an investor in KiwiSaver and State Service Retirement Scheme and all the other things that I talk about, this book really cracks down. It makes it simple. It explains compounding within 3 pages, and within those 3 pages, it's like light bulb moments for people. I cannot recommend this book enough. So it's Money Made Simple, Sam Stubbs. Honestly, this book will... It's tiny. I read it in a day. It's not even that long. It's simple English, and it's I honestly can't recommend it enough. It's one of those books that I think everyone should be doing. Now, of course, we are recording this on a Sunday. Now, I talked about my Sharesies experience. I was lucky enough to get to Sharesies. They invited me. And we found out some pretty cool things. So first and foremost, the Sharesies Kiwi-Saviour over here, they are creating in the future a new fund. Specifically, you will be able to invest in the smart you'll be able to make your own version of the S&P 500, which will be a base fund. So it'll be one of these ones. I can tell you right now, I will be taking probably 50,000 out of my Smart Shares growth fund and putting that in the US 500. Compounding, compounding, compounding. I believe wholeheartedly in the S&P 500. The other thing that is coming is they are going to make it very soon that you are able to make voluntary donations. So you will be able to, like myself, I am a sole trader now. I'm self-employed. Yes, I do work part-time, but at the same time, I work for myself. I can't set up my payroll so that I pay myself KiwiSaver the way I'm doing it, not with what we're doing. But when I take drawings, I can go, right, well, I'm going to take 500, put 500 in KiwiSaver. That's huge. I was with the AMP for the State Service Retirement Scheme, and I was using their app for about 4 years, 5 years. In that whole time, their app did evolve. It started as just showing you a balance. That was all you could do. Then you could switch your plans. And then right before I decided to switch to Sharesies, they made it so you could make voluntary donations. 4 years I used the app. And I couldn't make a single donation to my KiwiSaver or my State Service Retirement. We couldn't do that any other way apart from calling them up, going into a bank, verifying my identity, yada, 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 all this extra stuff that you didn't need to do. And Sharesies are going, oh yeah, we know we need to do that. That's what we're planning on doing. And they're planning on doing that next year or within the next year. That's 12 months. For a scheme that Sharesies just took over KiwiSaver last year, like halfway through the year. As I said, the reason I got invited to the KiwiSaver thing is I was an early adopter. That was in October. Like, this stuff is... I really believe in the Sharesies team. I was lucky enough to speak to Brooke, who's one of the uh, founders and creators of Sharesies, and she was lovely. She gave me the time of day. I told her my story about how I got myself out of debt, and a large part of that was me learning about Sharesies, starting to invest, and realizing that the importance of Sharesies and having that openness to be able to invest in stuff. I met a lot of people there, like-minded people. I met a lot of Sharesies staff there. Told them thank you so much. I really appreciate everything that they've done. I gave them one of our coconut wax candles, and yeah, they loved it. Like as I said, I was one of the first people there. I spoke to Brooke, and she was like, when I was speaking to one of the people there, he was like, "Oh yeah, you need to see Brooke." I was like, "Who's Brooke?" I was like, "Oh, Brooke's one of our CIOs." I was like, "All right then, okay then." And meeting the person that's one of the ones that's created Sharesies was huge, and they gave me the time of day. They listened to my story, told them about my podcast, told them that I do this for you guys as well and talk about it. And I asked them, is it okay if I release what you guys are going to tell me? And they were like, yeah, cool, go for it. It's going to be out on the media, so do it. And when I sat there and I watched the presentation wasn't even that long. It was maybe 30 minutes max. And I came away having full faith in my decision to go with KiwiSaver. I was so happy that I don't mind waiting a year, half a year, for a new fund to be created where I can invest directly into the smart share, into the US S&P 500. The other thing they're doing, you'll see here, I've got Westpac, ANZ, Mainfreight, Smart Shares, all these sorts of ones. You can, and you will be able to soon, invest in the US ones. So if you want to put 5,000 in Tesla, you can. If you want to put 5,000 in Realty, you can. And that will add to your KiwiSaver platform. Like, it's crazy. Let me show you how to... Let's just quickly go through and I'll show you how to do it. So you see your investment plan. if you want to, once you've got set up and your money's in there, you can just go like this. Or even if you haven't got transferred over yet, or you haven't started KiwiSaver, you can do this before, so that when your KiwiSaver activates, you can do it. So I'm just going to quickly check how I'm doing. Cool. Just bear with me. I don't know how long I've been doing this. So, okay, we're going to go to edit. And you'll see at the moment I've got 70% going into this particular one, 30% going into here. So if I was going to, you can see that the maximum at the moment I can put in is 5% of each individual one. That's fine. But if I wanted to add something else, I go edit. And then you'll see, if you like, you can apply the same amount to all or so forth. Down the bottom here, add more investments. So I go add more investments. Now, at the moment, these are what we've got. Okay, so there's not a lot, but these are trusted by Sharesies. Okay, and a lot of them are, ETFs, funds. There's some others that are like, like there's Briscoes, there's all that sort of stuff. And all you do is you simply go add, and then okay. So one of the things I should probably do is this one here, cash, or the US top 500. And you can look into it, so you can go into here and go, right, well, what's this one do? We'll add our password, done. And find out that it's $2.90 a share. Like, you don't automatically go directly into it. You can go, right, well, what's the dividend? The dividend is 3.3%. It's currently, it makes up of these particular ones. So you can see if it's got 5% of Mercury, maybe I should be looking at Mercury. Maybe I should be looking at A2, all that sort of stuff. So when you do, you just go select this fund, and then it tells you how much. So the admin fee is 0.15%. And then once you do that, you select your 5% or whatever you want to put, and then it will take it from this part and put it into there. Now, at the moment, I'm happy with these. That's why I'm keeping them there. I'm not going to be adding new ones just for this video, because that's a whole admin process, which we don't need to go through. However, the fact that soon I'm going to be able to invest in American shares as well, or American ETFs, that's huge. You can guarantee that there will be more of these down here when that becomes happening. The other thing that they're doing, which is really, really quite a cool thing, is, say, for example, so you'll see here you've got your wallet, right? And this is where you add money, top up money. You will soon be able to gift, that's right, gift money to someone else's KiwiSaver. So say, for example, I've got a KiwiSaver and maybe I've got an extra 500 and I'll go, look, I want to give it to you. I think it'd be great for you. It's a great way for you to actually invest in KiwiSaver and play around, see what you like. And then I can do that to someone. And then they get that money. And it could be $20, it could be $30, whatever it is. That is huge. Like, usually we are bound by red tape, which means you can't touch someone else's stuff. But now I can gift it to someone. Like, gifting someone money in Sharesies is really easy. It's basically like, just going to share the araha. You can buy a gift card or you can refer a friend. When I put my link in there, it's this one here. And there will be a link down the bottom as well. You will get $5 if you sign up for Sharesies. And you just do your identity. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't trust Sharesies. I don't trust Sharesies. Let me show you something. Look at that. I'm up $769.75 because I've done the research and I invest in my companies. If you're brand new to Sharesies and you want to make sure you're doing something, just invest in this. This is a US fund, the Vanguard 500 index funds, which is the top 500 businesses. Like, I can't say it enough. Start investing. Start investing. Start with Sharesies. Honestly, like, this is nuts. This is nuts. And let me show you something else. Our trips, our Vietnam trips. Look at this. This is a savings account with Sharesies. 4.6% per annum. That's nuts. Trust me, that is nuts. You do not get that at most banks. You get a few cents. You don't get... I got $1.37 for this much invested. Total interest, this is the total time I've been with there. This used to be something else. There used to be a lot more in there. But it's crazy. It's nuts. Like, please go to Sharesies. Try it. It's amazing. It is amazing. So, Money Made Simple. Great book. Read it. It'll really help you with your investing future. It'll help you understand how your KiwiSaver, like how much you can retire. So you see here, this I've only been investing. I've only been investing, like, this is one of my first stocks, okay? The S&P 500, the large growth fund, Coca-Cola. Like, if I go into my Coca-Cola, my investments, if I go back 5 years, let's go all. So I started investing in 2020. In 2020. And look at it grow. Like, buys. 15th of September 2020. I put $100 US in. And I'd actually started investing before that. This is when I did it. My little dividends aren't paying much, but they are paying. Like, do your research. I'm telling everybody that I'm buying this. The reason I'm buying this is, you'll see, okay, yes, I'm minus $3 at the moment. But this is paid every month. Now, if I buy it lower, and then it goes up, and I'm getting paid every month, that's a good deal. I will take that. I will take that loss there anytime. Anytime. What I'm trying to get is, start investing, please. Please start. Sharesies is a great way to do it, especially if you're in New Zealand or Australia. As long as you verify your ID, you're fine. But if you're in the US, like a lot of my audience is, 401k, a REIT, do it. Please. Read books like Fire. Read books like The Barefoot Investor. Read books like not Get Rich or Die Trying, sorry. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Retire Young, Retire Rich, all by Robert Kiyosaki. Like, all of this stuff is huge, and I truly, truly think you need to. Invest in yourself. So, Magic Mind, don't forget, I do have my code going. You can get some really great things. I know it's not available in New Zealand, but it is available in the States, and it does truly work. You can see how in the last 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm awake. I'm switched on. I'm ready. I'm talking about this stuff. I'm not saying as much. I'm not, you see the progression of how it works on me. And I haven't had it in a couple of days. But I'm not wired. I'm focused. So, yeah, feel free. Honestly, Magic Mind is one of those things that is... I wish I could get it in New Zealand. It's amazing. But I have to be sent it. And as soon as they make it available in New Zealand, you can be sure I'll be looking at getting some more. Because at events, this stuff is fire. I've talked about selling and how I like to sell and what I'm trying to sell. This has helped me so much in the last... since I started using it in the last month, to be awake, aware, and focused. When I'm dealing with a customer, I can go, oh, cool. Hey, I like that. What are you doing there? How's this? What's this? What's this? I'm not saying it's helping me sell, but it's helping me think I can sell. Huge, huge. But until next time, guys, thank you for watching. As always, I love you guys, and good luck.